Let's look at the problems we have right now, where we have animals suffering and dying every single day by the thousands. And it's time to address the issue that's been allowed to go on for so long.
We need the people of Missouri to vote yes on Prop B to protect dogs and crack down on these mills, which have had years and years of terrible operations. We've seen their conduct time and time again. Now is the correction.
There are so many animals suffering and crying every single day, and we want to reach out and help them. And this may be their best possible chance.
We all have a commitment to these live beings that have feelings, that feel pain, that want to be loved, want to be nurtured, to not have them endure this treatment anymore.
It's purely profitable. That's all they care about. So, of course, they're going to keep them in horrible conditions. They're going to do the bare minimum in order to generate a profit.
The standard things that we see in these puppy mills are, filthy cages. I mean, the urine and feces oftentimes is, 2-3 inches deep. What always strikes me when I walk into one of these facilities is the moment you enter, the overwhelming odor of the ammonia just burns your eyes and takes your breath away, and you think, these animals live their entire lives like this. I mean, imagine living your life in a 2-foot by 2-foot box, and every time you move, you're running into some piece of jagged metal that's poking into you. And we see dogs with eyes missing quite often, and most of the time it's from injuries resulting in the cages.
Oftentimes we find them where their coats are horribly matted. I mean, to the point where sometimes even their legs are fused together because the hair is so tangled they cannot move their limbs independently.
They're infested with fleas and with ticks, and they're usually very underweight and horribly unsocial. They have intestinal parasites.
The people that raise them don't have a heart, to truly care for them. It's all about the money, and that's really sad.
Profit is the only motive, and the animals suffer horribly as a result.
It's time for Missouri to look at this problem and deal with it head on.
The ballot initiative will require that puppy mill owners provide basic and humane level of treatment and care, including provision of water, food, access to veterinary care, that they will be sheltered from the elements, and in addition to that, that they will not be bred every time they come into heat. Right now, most of Missouri's puppy mills are breeding animals every time they come into heat, and as a result, the females never get a rest.
This is just about profit and commerce, and we're trying to inject animal welfare into the breeding equation.
What we're asking is just common sense things.
I definitely do support the ballot initiative. There is a huge problem in our state. This ballot initiative will make life better for the animals, and for me as a veterinarian, that's really the bottom line.
I don't know why anybody who's a responsible breeder would have a problem with it. At all. I mean, the people that don't want it done are the people that don't do it right.
Acquiring a puppy is a very emotional experience, and so most people will react with their hearts and not necessarily be thinking out or really having the information with which to reason what's going on.
Families that unknowingly acquire an animal from a puppy mill often experience significant health problems as well as socialization problems.
I just felt horrible for what the dogs had gone through and what I'd supported in giving her my money.
We're the first step in a new beginning.
Hi, I was wondering if you would be willing to take a look at the proposed initiative which will help regulate some of the conditions that are in our puppy mills in Missouri.
I would love to.
Most people are incredibly supportive. Many of them have no idea that the conditions are what they are for these animals, so they're anxious to hear more, they're anxious to learn more, and they're anxious to be a part of the solution, and I think that's really cool. I mean, education is just such a critical component of change.
We all have to work together to make things better.
See, there's the babies.
The Puppy Mill Cruelty Prevention Act is of utmost importance to provision of humane treatment and care in our state. And people that care about animals need to get out and vote in favor of the Puppy Mill ballot initiative.
With one single vote on November 2nd, a yes on Prop B will mean so much relief from suffering for so many dogs.
It sets the stage, sets the climate for who we are as people. I mean, the way that we care for our animals says a lot about how we care for ourselves and how we care for others. And being able to make a change, not being known as the #1 puppy mill state, is important.
We need to get started, and we need to get started now.
Is going to make such a difference, a wonderful and humane and caring difference in the lives of Missouri's animals.